Howdy y'all, it's Shannon here at Creative Chaos in Tennessee, and today I am back with day 24 of May I Scraplift You. Today's featured creator is Terry Ross. I absolutely love Terry and I watch her pretty much every day. It is also Friday, so it's time for Mixed Media Mayhem. This week's prompts is black background, texture paste, and stencil. So, I will pop up the layout I chose to Scraplift of Terry's. And I've said this before, but I picked all these layouts before I even knew I was going to be using this collection or what I was going to do. I just went through, picked all the layouts I was going to Scraplift for the whole month at once. So, when I got to this one, I thought, man, I put myself in a pickle. Because I absolutely love Terry's work. It is always stunning. She loves to use like mente papers and all the little detail fussy cut stuff, which I love fussy cutting too. And this layout is truly right up my alley. Pulls the heartstrings. I absolutely love it. It tells a story. And that's what I love about it. Now, me working with this collection, there is no way I am doing something that beautiful and that formal using a bright, more, it's not, I don't even consider this this collection vintage. I'm using the Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Life in Bloom, and I love this collection, but it is not vintage. Terry's layout is vintage. I see that as vintage. She also, it looks like, used a story-based paper and covered up part of it with her photos and with the doilies and all that stuff. And I love that, but this one's going to have to be simple and broken down into what I can make it with this collection. So, I'm going to base off of the background, which was brick looking, and use my brick stencil. I'm going to use flowers that's on there, and then I'm going to use teeth because this is going to be a layout about Kaylee losing her first tooth. And I have all these teeth I cut out on the Cricut, and then I have this title I was able to find, even though it's crazy colors. It does have the blues that this collection has. It has orange, even though I didn't focus on orange because I don't like orange. It's my least favorite color. But this swap piece was made by Judy Dykes. And so we're just going to create, and it's not going to look anything like Terry's, but I did take inspiration from hers with the brick background and the florals. And maybe at some point I can actually come back and Scraplift her layout and do it a better justice. So I'm using this Ranger texture paste, and I have added a little bit of white acrylic paint to this. So far it hasn't hurt it. Knock on wood. Because I want it to be white, and it says this is opaque matte. And I find whenever I use it, I don't know. It's not technically opaque, but it's not white either. So I wanted it more white to use on things. So I did add a little bit of white paint to it. I've actually almost used the whole jar, even though I don't use texture paste very often. But I am going to just run this through my stencil up here. And that is a mess. Let me take some of it off. And it's not going to be 100%. It's not going to be perfect. I don't want it to be. And hopefully whenever it dries, it will dry more white to show up on the black background that I had to use. So that was definitely a challenge. And the only thing I don't like about texture paste is that you have to work with it quickly because it dries to your stencil. It's like a thick glue. So if any of y'all use texture paste on the regular and you have any tips for like making it easier to come off of your supplies and your stencils and all that, I would love to hear it. And I'm getting texture paste on everything because it's on my fingers. Okay, I'm going to build this one off just a little bit more so that it doesn't look so perfect. I think I'll do the same thing up here. Okay, so I used the stencil, a black background, and the texture paste all in one go, so yay. That's all of the mixed media prompts. So then we just have to kind of focus on our layout by Miss Terry. I'm going to add a little bit up here. Not that it'll probably matter because stuff will get covered up. And maybe a little bit down here in the corner. Okay. So I am going to pause this so that I can go and wash off my stencil and my hands and give this just a minute to dry. It dries fairly quickly. And I will be right back. Okay, so we're back. It's all dry. Now, I think I am going to take my Dina Wakley Media Gloss Spray and just add a few little splatters on here. Since I have so many little boo-boos everywhere, just to, you know, grunge it up a little bit, I guess. Actually, more so to just hide all my mistakes. Make it look a little bit better. Okay. Alright, and then, and it's all over my hands. Then we are just going to build. So, I have this one strip of paper, and I know it's not like the whole pattern paper. Since I had to use a black background, I thought I would add in a little bit just to tie it together versus a whole piece. So, it's a little bit minimal, I guess you could say. But we are going to make it work. Okay. So then I have these two pictures of Kaylee, and they look very similar, but they're a little bit different. And I ended up using this title saying brush your teeth, because I have Kaylee convinced that if you don't brush your teeth, that they fall out. And so she tries to stay on top of brushing them. And every time she has another one fall out, because since these pictures, she's had quite a few fall out. I have convinced her that her teeth are falling out. I was like, oh, you didn't brush your teeth again. So, that's why instead of putting like first tooth or whatever, I didn't. And then I have these big teeth that I cut out on my Cricut. Just basics. And I think I'm going to go in behind here for this one. And then I'm just going to build another little cluster. And like I said, Terry, sorry for destroying your beautiful layout with something so messy and plain, but I really do want to go back and try to scrap lift it again, just being able to use whatever collection I want versus this one. And like I said, I love this one, but I don't have enough pieces or the, I don't even know how to think about it, the more vintage, formal look to get with this collection. So, alright, so then I'm going to put this title on. And I'm going to put it here. Hold it down a minute because it takes a little bit longer to dry on the texture paste. And I like the fact that it did dry white. You can still see it's a little bit translucent in places where it was thin. But I'm glad that it actually dried white. Because I do have some different texture paste that is supposedly white, but it doesn't. It dries the exact same as this one, even though it's a different brand and stuff. So, alright, so I'm just going to glue these flowers, make a little cluster, kind of taking and jumping off of Terry's design of how she did her flowers. I'm kind of doing the same thing. Where are my leaves at? This is really not staying. I might have to get out the, oh, there they are. I might have to get out the tacky glue to hold it all down. Be a little more generous with the glue here. Add some little hearts. And I'm just going to start building the cluster to go up on this side. I'm telling you, drawing these little watercolor things are very, very addictive. It makes me want to do them in different colors and do them with different collections just to see if I can and how they would look. Because you could do, you could definitely do way more detailed flowers, more formal look, to go with a more formal looking collection. Because it's just doodles. I mean, it's just your doodles. So, I know I didn't look at anything to draw these, but I know it does help me if I like look at maybe a die cut or something like that I like. And you can take and kind of look at it and see the shape of it and how the petals are and just kind of study it a little bit and see if, you know, they're rounded or more squared. You can see that these I just did, it's like hearts. And these are just, you know, little ovals. And these are more square. And then with the circles, all I did was I just colored in circles. And then I went back and did the pen work to add all the little dots and the swirls and all that stuff with my pen. So, I do have a video, and if I remember, I will try to link it. I think I'll put that there. maybe here. And then I have a bunch of little hearts that I just want to add in. I do have another flower over here. I think I'm going to add it up here. And then probably just do my journaling on this tooth. Let's see, we'll stick one here. Or should I do the other one over here? Alright. So, I think that is pretty much going to be the layout. I will post close-ups at the end. Definitely go over and check out Terry's channel and show her some love. I absolutely love her, and her husband cracks me up. Getting on there doing songs and stuff for her, it's hilarious. So I only wish I had a husband as fun as hers. Alright, so I think that's going to be it. I'll post all the links you need below, and until next time, bye y'all.